Thanks for joining us on Sheridan County Ag Update. Today we have Emily Swinyer, the Sheridan County 4-H, I don't want to say extension agent because that's not what they're called anymore.
Old school extension agent, but that's what most people know. So
right, it's educator.
Educator, which is a really misleading term because a lot of what I do isn't educating. But I do, that's my favorite part of what I do is the teaching piece.
It's kind of like secretary administrative assistant. They want to give it a different name now.
Yeah.
And also joining us is Buford.
I'm obsessed with Buford. I insisted that she be here.
Buford just thought she would join us today. She's sleeping, which will probably be her most achievements.
I want her job.
Well, let's talk about 4-H.
So,
we just ended, the year just ended with the sale. The fair and the sale went awesome.
It went incredible.
Great. We are so fortunate to have the support we do in this community for these kids.
Yeah, this is an interesting time of year in 4-H because a lot of people associate, 4-H with only county fair and the sale and okay, that's over. 4-H is over. It's not really over. So for most of those kids, if not all of them, they still had to finish out their projects. And so if you had a breeding project or a market animal, you have to see that project to its end. And some of the requirements here in town is we've got record books that are due. They were due. So the last day of the 4-H year is September 30th. And so we let the kids have until the very end of the 4-H year to complete those. We do our record books online now. And so they can get on and fill all of that out as they go, add photos and things, and then submit them online, or they can print them and bring them in. Or if they want to print out a blank one, they can fill it out handwritten and bring it in. Know some of us who've done 4-H have fond memories of the record book completion. And that part still hasn't changed. The preteen was not thrilled about doing the record book, but it is a requirement if you are intending to sell in our youth livestock sale. That's part of doing that project and having income from it is you need to keep financial records. And so that's another piece that we're trying to teach the kids is you need to track what you're spending on feed, what you're spending on your animal, if you're getting any profit. That's an important piece to learn as well. Not just, okay, I sold my pig, we're good to go. There's more to it than that. And then there are record books for all the other project areas as well. And the big incentive for completing your record book is the state level, the State 4-H Foundation. They offer scholarships, really, really good scholarships. Plus, if you do your record books every year and you earn, so you get like a gold, silver, or green, which is kind of a score. And depending on what color you get, it correlates to points. If you get a gold, it's 3 points. So when you reach 19 points, so typically that's around age 15 or 16, if you're consistently submitting your record books and doing a quality job, then you get a $500 trip from the state. So you can use it anywhere you choose. So you could go on an international 4-H trip. You could go to National 4-H Congress. You could go to the new 4-H Ignite national trip. You can use it for livestock judging contests that are national ones. Wow. So you can apply that towards any of those. So that's a big incentive. And that achievement is called the Wyoming Honors Club. And so every year we bring in new kids who've earned that recognition and they get into the Honors Club, and then you just let me know where you'd like to apply your money, what trip you want to go on, and we'll make it happen. We had a member this year go to Belize with 4-H, which was super cool. And so, yeah, that's something that a lot of people, record books they're hard and they're time consuming. And it's something that even as an adult, not all of us love keeping.
It's taxes.
It basically is. It basically is. It's not fun, but it's so important for them to learn. And it's just an important piece of it. And, especially if you are selling livestock, there's so many pieces of like quality assurance and keeping track of when you gave vaccines and when you've when they were weaned and how much they were gaining. That's just all part of the learning process too. And if any of these young people choose to go in and become producers, that's important. You need to know.
We have to keep track of it as a producer. It's part of your backgrounding. And as selling these calves to these kids to show, they need to know all that information. And
Absolutely.
Our niece was a senior, and we made her do her record book. She was not happy about it, but we told her that was part of the project, and we expected the completion of the project. Just selling the steer and being done with him wasn't it.
Nope, it's not. So I love reading the record books too, because I feel like I get to experience the story. And our council, so the 4-H council is made up of club leaders. So they all help us score them. So it's not just me, it's not our office staff, it's our leaders that are scoring them. And we just love looking at them and looking at the pictures that they turn in and reading about what they've learned. It's really cool for us to be able to see kind of a 3,000 level looking, we only see them walk in the ring, but a lot of it's like, oh, I didn't know that they were sick. You really struggled. Or I didn't know that you maybe even lost one of your projects. I didn't know that. So it's cool to be able to see that. And then also so many of them refer to years prior. And so then they're like, wow, this year was really, that last year was really hard, but this year I tried again and I used what I learned and now I had success. That is the best, is when you're able to read and see what they've learned along the way. And when they finally are successful, that's just.
Cowboy State Bank, helping farmers, ranchers, and the ag community succeed for over 100 years.
It's really good. It's really good.
Sometimes it's not as we've told the kids who've asked us for help. I don't care if you hang a banner. I don't care if you win it. What I care about is that you learned how to take care of your project, and you came out on the other end with a quality product, and you learned.
Absolutely.
That's what 4-H is supposed to be about.
It is. And in their record books, they have to set goals and things. And, some of the goals you read, okay, I want to learn how to show my sheep. Okay. What are you going to do? Are you just going to hope it works out? Are you going to practice every day? Do you have a mentor that is going to help you? There's a lot of ways to reach that end. And then, sometimes I really want to win showmanship. Okay, but
how are you going to get there?
And then some of them, I want to not fail. I want my animal to not get sick this year. Or I want to make sure that I have proper housing and I'm able to finish, and I'm not chasing my hog around the ring, that I'm actually able to show it and cooperate with me. And sometimes even when you want to quit in the middle of the year, when things get really hard, the success is the completion. You finished it. It was hard. You dug in and you finished it. That to me is worth more than hanging any banner on the wall. I mean, we love hanging a banner on the wall, let me tell you. But sometimes just conquering something that was hard feels so much better than, I don't know. It's just all the warm fuzzies, especially, you get it when you're in the breeding program and you're, if some years the breed up isn't as good as others, and then it's discouraging, and
you lose a calf, you lose
your favorite cow. That's all part of being a producer. And so this time of year is a great time when kids get to reflect, leaders get to know more about the kids, and it rolls right into the best part. So 4-H has just ended. This year has just ended. And so then there's this season of celebration. So it kind of goes hand in hand with the start of the new 4-H year. So everything has ended. We've done all the record books. Now what? We just get to start over. But we like to recognize, the kids are working hard. Absolutely. And they're number one. They're the priority here. But at the same time, our program would be nothing without our volunteers and leaders. And so we have what we call achievement program. An achievement program is October 22nd. So it's right after, October starts the new 4-H year, but we want to start by recognizing all of the achievements from the year before. So these aren't necessarily like, you won beef showmanship. Good job. Like they've already been recognized.
Right.
But
They got that at fair.
You got that at fair. But there are other things to really to bring some attention to that may not have received the recognition at the time. And these are things like character counts awards. We have members who they show up to everything. They're there. They got a positive attitude. That deserves recognition. Or say they're one of our team leaders and they've gone over and above and they've done more than was expected or even asked of them. We're absolutely going to recognize them. And we have leaders who have put in, some of them, it's been their very first year and they bit the bullet and they've took on a project area and they've done meetings and they've taught and they've been very involved, or they've even started a club. I mean, there's been a lot of, it's easy to kind of dip your toe in the water when you first start, but some of them jump right in and, it's a lot to take on and we want to recognize them. And then there's the ones who've been there for 5 years or 10 years or 20 years or 25 years. We want to really recognize them too. And, we get them some cool swag and stuff like that, but it's really a great time to celebrate what a great year we've had. We also recognized outstanding record books. So if you've turned in your record book and you've done an awesome job, we divide them all up into categories. So you've got like expressive arts, animal science, natural resources. And so then we recognize by age division. So junior, intermediate, senior in those main categories. And they win money and ribbons and cool things like that. And we give those out at achievement too.
Well, and one of the biggest things that you give out at that time is the heifer for charity. You actually give a heifer to...
Yeah, we give a heifer away.
Yeah.
Give a heifer away.
But I mean, that's
deal.
one of the biggest...
It absolutely is. And that's a 2-year project.
It
so,
is.
I mean, we have several the breeding projects that are 2 years, but I still feel like that heifer for charity, that breeding beef, so much time and money and resources go into making that happen. We have donors who donate this heifer. And so you have to, there's phase 1, which is your yearling, just to be shown as a yearling and has to be bred. And then phase 2, she comes back with her calf at side, bred again. So it's showing the future of that project, that they're able to be a valuable asset to your breeding program and produce and give quality to your program too. Not just, okay, I can raise a little calf, but what is that ratio? What's the condition of that cow after she's nursed a calf all summer? So it's a pretty cool project. And it's one that you've got your phase 1 winner, phase 2 winner, and then we do a total from yearling and then cow-calf phase. And then the total can be somebody who never won phase 1 or phase 2, and they can win the total overall. Because what if your cow doesn't take, or what if she's open, or what if she loses the calf? I mean, we had a really hard winter this year, and that was a reality for some of our members. And so to be able to, it speaks to husbandry and sometimes just luck. I mean,
Dumb luck.
Dumb luck. Like, man, she didn't decide to have her calf in the blizzard.
Well, and you also have Gen X and ST Genetics have both donated semen at different years, and ABS
absolutely.
has in the past. So, I mean, you get a whole lot of people involved that you don't even think about. The vets that come and do the preg checking for us. And, there's all kinds of people involved in that don't sometimes get thought about.
Oh yeah. And because when you've got your bred yearling heifer, if you win phase 1, you also get the AI services for the follow. And how cool is that? So not only is she bred, you have the potential to get to really improve your herd the following year if you win that and get that service provided. I mean, holy Hannah. I mean, I think about going through the catalog and looking at all of those and thinking, oh man, how cool would it be to have this? I mean, we do that with our own breeding herd, and to have that opportunity to really bring in some powerful genetics, it's such a big carrot for those kids as a motivator. And so it's always a surprise and they get all excited. And this year for the phase 1 and 2, we have buckles too that are going out. And then we have a banner for the overall and the heifer. So it's a big deal. It's a big deal. And other things that we spotlight there is we've got shooting sports. So this year we awarded High Point Shooter at County Shoot. I kind of surprised them with that. They weren't expecting it, but I had the buckles there. I was like, oh, we did some math and here you go. So they were really jazzed about that. But we've added some new points of recognition for our shooting sports program because, people always think that, the livestock is our biggest program. It's probably the one that gets the most attention because most people don't. I mean, I would love to go watch a livestock show, but I don't want to watch somebody shoot.
Right.
But it's just not as big of a spectator thing. But it is by far our largest category of projects. We have the most involvement there. So we are recognizing kids who have, most improved by age division, also most dedicated, attending practices. The biggest piece of shooting sports is how to do this, use it as a tool, and do it safely. So we're recognizing safety as well.
So your, Achievement Day, this is the culmination of National 4-H Week is right now, but we have County 4-H Week. So
we do. So 4-H Week it's a lot of different things. It was established when the program nationally was established. It's a great way to kick off a brand new 4-H year. A lot of counties so we're fortunate in Sheridan that we have free enrollment for 4-H. But not every county does. Some counties have like a $10 registration, $30 registration. We're free. And so a lot of counties will say, okay, if you register during 4-H week, there's no enrollment fee as a motivator to get everybody re-enrolled. But it's just a great reminder for people to go ahead and get put in there. That way you're receiving all the communication from us. You know what's happening. You're in the loop and you're not missing any emails or things like that. And you get a fuller experience if you join right away. And then you're able to participate in your club work, which is also recognized at Achievement. You're able to do the community service. Then if you wait until May and be like, oh shoot, I better get in, even though I've had these animals for months, better enroll in 4-H. Because the deadline isn't until June 1st. So we do have open enrollment year round, but you get the most bang for your buck if you do it now. So
Quality Kubota machinery and customer care from the heart. Proudly serving Sheridan and the surrounding area since 1996. Go online to heartlandkubota.com or stop by Heartland Kubota, 2450 Heartland Drive.
Speaking of which, I know that one of the community services, the highway cleanup, which is right in front of our house.
Yeah. Well,
from the Goose Creek Livestock 4-H Club. We might know those kids.
You might know them. I was driving home. Gosh, it was just a few days ago. It was last weekend. It was Saturday. I was driving home. And I'm like, what are all these orange people out here? It was renegades cleaning our highway. So it's so nice. And so most of the main roads going into Sheridan are cleaned by 4-Hers. And I just, it was so cool to see them out there working. And I'm like, you guys.
Well, and some of the other things, I mean, they do all kinds of community service. I know they do like around Valentine's Day, they'll do cards to the nursing homes. And during the Christmas stroll, they're down there with serving hot chocolate or cookies. So there's all kinds of community service. And we have such an active membership here with all the clubs that, if you see them out and about, tell them good job, because
they'll be wrapping Christmas presents at Walmart. They'll be, like Critters, Crafts and Cooking, sponsor kids. They'll work with the foster parent exchange and find families that are in need, and they'll go drop a few $100s on their Christmas. How cool is that? So it's the involvement is these kids don't do it for the glory. They do it because, and which is great. We're trying, the goal of 4-H is to raise good humans. We want people to be engaged in our community, to love on each other, and to really, really plug in and feel like they're part of something bigger than themselves. And community service is a great way for them to get those warm fuzzies. And we as adults, we love being in a position where we can help. And so instilling that in young people, that they know that they, I'm just a kid, but I still matter to someone and I'm still part of something bigger. It's a pretty cool other piece of the 4-H puzzle there.
Well, we always have a club or two that wants to go shopping for our Christmas Wish program up here.
Absolutely.
And we usually give them one of the bigger families and go out, and those kids have a blast.
So fun, because they just are like, woohoo!
Exactly. We get to spend someone else's money and buy
all these toys that I wish my mom and dad would buy me. I'm going to get for you. And
exactly.
Subtle nudge. Yeah, they love it. And I love watching them do it.
So when is 4-H week here in the county, and when is Achievement Day?
So 4-H week, I have the Sheridan County one is set up, and it leads right into Achievement Day. So it starts on, I wrote it down. Where'd it go? Oh my goodness. Did I write it down? The 16th. It starts on the 16th, and it ends on the 21st. So October 16th, we'll kick off, and we have different ways to engage kids online through social media and things like that. You may also see clubs around town with advertising or decorating buildings or pumpkins or whatever. There's a lot of different ways that they're going to push. I'm going to be sending flyers out with the schools to invite people to join that has the links, and there will be QR codes, so you don't even have to type it. You just take a picture of it with your phone and you'll go right to the registration. And then Achievement Program is the 22nd. Okay. So October 22nd at 2.
Okay.
At the Ignite Wesleyan Church. So used to be Sheridan Wesleyan Church. Now it's Ignite. Same people, same building, same place, different name.
One of the cool things that Stuart and I always enjoy about going to Achievement Day is listening to the 9-year member speeches.
Yeah. So when they've been in 4-H for 9 years, so that means that they started when they were right in the very beginning, 8 years old, fresh. And so for them to be able to do this for 9 years, and some of them do because of where their birthday is, get 10 years out of 4-H. But hearing their stories of adults in that room who've made a difference in their lives, things that they've learned, hardships that they've had to endure. I mean, their project animals that they worked with, I mean, that did not end the way they wanted to. Learning grit and resilience. It's so cool to listen to them. And you're seeing them, now that I've been in this role for long enough, I remember when they were, goodness gracious, Jet West. I remember him when he was Ren's age, when he was in middle school. And I used to be taller than him. I am not anymore.
No.
But it's just really cool to see them come into themselves and mature. And then also there's this point in a young person's life that we want them to get to where sometimes it doesn't happen as much as we would like, when they have this epiphany of, wow, the world does not in fact revolve around me. And I love seeing that because they've always looked up to older members when they're in the program. They've always seen the kids giving the 9-year speeches or seen the older members get the recognition. And then all of a sudden they realize that it's their peer group that's putting in the work now. And they see the value in volunteering, and they see the value of, okay, I'm really good at showing chickens. I can help kids that are younger than me learn how to do that. Or, I love showing pigs. I think I want to put on something to show other kids how to do this. I mean, I think about Ella. I think my first year was Ella's first year. And so we've kind of got to grow up in 4-H together. Me as far as on this role, and then her as a member, to see her now and other members her age putting on events. It's like, this just happened. And so those 9-year speeches they're really important, because not only do those members who've gained that lifespan, they get to share things that have really meant a lot to them. and honor the people who've poured into their lives. And it's special for the people that they get to recognize, but it's also really special for us and the rest of the program who get to be like,
I guess we did make a difference.
we did make a difference. Look at them. They're able to speak publicly, which is terrifying to most people. I mean, it's not terrifying to us because here we are, but
it's fine.
It is. It's fine. But it
is.
I remember this used to not be comfortable for me.
I think, well, you were talking about Ella and Tinley. I think about when I first met those girls, and like they were so shy and so quiet. And yet I got them in here to talk about their clinic, and they were so open. I think we're going to have Chloe Wardell and Jet West in here to talk about Nile coming up, the Merit Heifer, and
awesome.
The judging contest that the kids go to. And so I think about the first time I met Chloe and how quiet she was, and now she's
just come into her own.
It's really great to see these kids grow and see how much. And like you said, you don't realize until you're there and they mention your name and you're like, oh, I guess I did make a difference in their life. Oh, I guess we did do something. So
it's pretty special. And it just goes, this time of year is such a reflective time because it goes to show that we are way more than just county fair. We're raising people. We're raising the next group of people that are going to be entering our community and voting and making decisions about the things that affect all of us, and for them to be established and thoughtful. It's all really important.
The night of the sale, I was not towards the front. I was helping in the office and in the back. And, they always do the FFA creed, and I believe
we do the
4-H pledge, and then the Pledge of Allegiance and the national anthem. And I saw this group of little guys running around. I mean, just being 9-10-year-old boys and running around, and yet I looked over and the national anthem was playing it, and they all had their hats off and their hands over their heart, and nobody prompted them. There was no parents around. Those kids were standing there doing it. I'm like, you know what? We're all a part of this village of 4-H and FFA people are a part of helping with these kids, every one of them.
It's giving me all like, I don't want to cry. I don't want to cry, but it's true because it is so much more than just the animal. I think I've even said it on here before, because you don't have your children to help you raise your livestock. You have your livestock to help you raise your children. And you have all of that is just a means to an end, whether it's, we have Grace Hinton. I've mentioned her before. She came and presented at council the other night. She's on the national ambassadors team for shooting sports. What? And I mentioned it at the meeting. I don't care what your spark is. I don't care what it is that ignites you and gets you excited. But when you find it, you hold on and you chase it, and you let that. I think about Marley Graham, one of our members. She was a senior member and thought, I think I want to learn how to do archery. This girl is competing. She's incredible. She's so talented. And she just decided one day that she wanted to learn it. She took it upon herself, went down to Rocky Mountain and said, I want to learn how to do this. Help me out. We've got a range here. And when you find something that lights that little fire, whether it's you creating your own jewelry and selling it or learning some entrepreneurship, I just love it. All the feels.
Well, let's talk about, you kind of touched on getting enrolled in 4-H. Let's talk a little bit about that before we wrap things up.
So signing up for 4-H is pretty easy. We do it all online now. It's through a program called Z Suite. And so the links will be going out. It's on social media. If you've already been enrolled, that's something that you'll be getting the communication there as well. It's going out to schools. And then I'm hoping that I can get some connections with some other media sources to be able to put that out there for the public as well. I like to put it out on different community groups as well. People who may not, I just want to be as visible as possible and make it as easy for people, because it is free and it really is something you can do on your cell phone. And then there's, you register and then we just approve it to make sure that you've checked all the boxes and we have all the information we need from you and get you plugged in with a club. And because you get to choose your club and you can do any project in any of the clubs. We have 9 clubs now. We have a new club that started kind of at the end of last year. And so they're jazzed about building their enrollment up. And then we have some huge clubs, which is also great if that's your jam. So,
well, and I think it's important to know that just because you've been in a club for a while, if it's not your fit and you want to move to a different club, that's okay.
It is. And, that was something that even our family has gone through because, it's really just about when they meet and where they meet and what works with your schedule. So if every single night of the week you're packed with football or whatever other thing that your kid is into, there are clubs that meet on the weekends. And so that can be an option for you. Or if your Saturdays are so busy doing other things, or you just don't want to go anywhere on Saturday morning, there's some that meet during the week in the evenings. And so it's truly just finding what fits for you. And your kids are going to make friends, or if they already have friends that are connected, go with them. Now, some of our clubs do have caps on them, just they're limited in how many individuals can enroll in that one. And that's fine too. There's 8 other options and they're all fantastic. So if you're questioning what club to join, or if you want to know, well, I'm really friends with this person at school and they said they're in 4-H, what club are they in? We can let you know.
Making plans for building a new barn, shop, or commercial building? Don't do any planning without a call to Sheridan's premier post-frame building and homes builder, True Built Builders, online at truebuiltbuilders.com.
Well, if you will send that link, we will post it with this podcast.
Awesome.
So they can just click on it right from, as they're watching it, they can click the link and get signed up.
Just open a new tab and then listen and then just do the things.
So what about other opportunities for maybe you have some leaders out or some people who say, you know what, I want to help with cake decorating. Like that's been my passion as an adult and I want to help kids. How can they get involved?
So if you are interested, so we have options for leaders. You can join and be a club leader, which you would be doing the community service. You would be doing the fun group things. There's project leaders and you're more teaching informational things like beef or whatever you're passionate about. So like the cake decorating, that would be you. Or we have just a project volunteer or a workshop volunteer. And that one is a little less demanding. Whatever you're able to give, we can absolutely put it to work. Or if you're just, you are creative and you have resources, either supplies, or if you have time or a space, or you have financial support. I mean, we had a business here in town had 4-H bog boots and gave us a whole bunch of them, and we're going to give them away at Achievement.
How cool is that?
I know. I was like, you got one in my size? Because they're adorable. And so I think I'm going to have it where, because I have just kind of a random selection of sizes where they can put their name in if that's the size they want. We'll figure that out. But another thing that's coming up that's new, so we are trying to get to where we're doing like leader trainings or summits. So there's one in Cheyenne, and it is in the very beginning of November. And I'm actually going to be like helping lead part of that.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And teaching part of that. And it's for either if you're already a current leader or you're a parent or you're thinking about maybe becoming a leader. It's something that is an option for you. And there's workshops. I'm excited about the stained glass workshop more than I'm excited about teaching my own workshop. Mine's not going to be as cool as the stained glass, but I will be at the stained glass. There's some team building things. There's lodging available down there. It's going to be a really fun one. We also had the adventure training for leaders over in Teton County. We had Sheridan County folks go over there, and they did hiking, they did canoeing. It was more of a outdoors sort of thing. So we had some of our shooting sports leaders go to that one.
Oh, I bet.
So that was pretty great. But really and truly, if 4-H is something that you want to get connected to or want to plug into, or you have a passion for, if you've got the resources or the knowledge or the drive to contribute, we'll get you connected. So,
Well, and one final thing I guess I'd kind of like to touch on is I hear a lot of times, because we do have such a phenomenal sale here, I hear a lot of businesses and individuals that say, gosh, I'd love to support the kids, but I just can't do that at the sale. There is other options.
oh man, there's such a need.
If you would like to donate monetarily, there are prizes that need to be bought every year for every project, from the indoor to the beef, to the sheep, to
the shooting, or even
absolutely
awards that go for Achievement Day. Yeah, and so all of our awards are purely donation. And so if you couldn't afford to go buy a hog or a beef, but you want to support 4-H, goodness gracious, we would need that. And another great problem to have is we also help our kids participate. We help financially for them to go to state fair or to national contests, because that can be really expensive to parents. And we want those children to be able to represent Sheridan County, and they do it, and they do a really good job of it. But we like to help them be able to go. That's something that we're able to do. But that also means that we have money going out to these families, helping them to be able to go. Because I know with that, it may not have been an opportunity that many kids would be able to have. And we love kids, and so we want to help them however we can. But we have more going now, which is amazing. We have kids going to national contests more than once because they've earned it. They've qualified for it. And we want to be able to help them go. We have kids that are, the state fair participation has really increased. We have families that are able to go, or ones that have never been able to and now are. And so if that is something that you would like to contribute to, that need is always there. And things like the cake decorating workshops, or I've got a babysitting course coming up. It starts next month. If you would like to donate and sponsor that class, each young person that signs up, it's a 4-week course. They commit to the 4 weeks. They come away with it with business cards, a business plan, a resume, a bag, coloring books, toys. They have everything they need, and they've gone through, they're going to be CPR trained, first aid training. They're going to come out of that ready to do something and be safe about it. But again, associated with that, there's costs in making those things, but we want to have them set up for success.
Well, I just wanted to make sure, because I have had people say that to me. And like I said, small businesses or individuals, you still can help.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely. You can still support these kids in different ways. It doesn't just have to be at the sale, because you need it all year long.
Yeah, because 4-H is all year.
It is. Well, Emily, thanks for being with us today.
Yeah, this was
Buford's
great.
been real excited about life here.
I just need to snuggle that baby.
I wonder if Susie would let her be in the dog obedience.
Be like the mascot. Just need to snuggle it.
Yes, she's the Sheridan Media mascot right now. So, well, Emily, thanks so much for being with us.
Thanks for having me back.
And we will have you back again. And thanks for joining us on Sheridan County Ag Update.
Thanks, guys.